Hi there, I'm Dr. Stephen Phelan. Welcome to PhelanDentalSeminars.com. I hope everybody had an excellent New Year's and a very good holiday season. And now that we're back and it's the first week of January, I hope everybody's really ready to get back to work and make 2011 the best year ever for our dental practices. And I really think that, particularly here in Canada, that the economy is really ready to continue its steady improvement, and our practices are totally ready to take off. I think that it's a great time to be a dentist. There's a lot of opportunity out there for practice growth and for practice enhancement. And one of the big things that I'm excited about for the first part of 2011 is I'd like to announce today that I'm going to be presenting some new seminars. And I'm going to be presenting a new functional occlusion and full mouth rehabilitation seminar on April 1st and 2nd in Toronto and April 15th and 16th in Montreal. And the seminar will basically be an update to my seminar that I had on comprehensive occlusion and full mouth rehabilitation last year at this time. And basically what I've done is I've taken a lot of the things that I liked about that seminar and just enhanced and improved upon them. And I've added some video that I filmed with my microscope here, some additional video of different procedures. I showed taking the centric relation bite record with a leaf gauge. I've added now really detailed video on how to do it with a Lucia jig, and detailed video on how to do the same thing with a Koi's deprogrammer. So you're going to have basically multiple options on how to take your centric relation bite record. And I'm adding more video on how to take your bite record for big cases. I have a big implant reconstruction that I just completed. It looks really great, but the patient had no anterior teeth. She had some implants, but no anterior teeth. So I'm going to show you how we made a specific jig to take the bite record for that patient and for that case. So I have a lot of new content that I'm adding to this seminar. And basically it's going to be at the Metro Toronto Convention Centre in Toronto, April 1st and 2nd, as I said. And if you're not from the Toronto area, it's right downtown, and there's quite a few hotels in the area. The Royal York's pretty much across the street. That's likely where I will stay. And in Montreal, it's going to be hosted at the Centre Montreal, which is where I've had my last two seminars in Montreal. I really like the location. The AV setup there is excellent. And it's right next door to the Hotel Germain, which is a hotel that I really enjoy in Montreal. And speaking of the AV, if you haven't been to one of my seminars, basically we try and immerse you in the visual content of the seminar. So we basically have a 10-foot high by 30-foot wide screen at both locations. And I project, 10-foot high by 30-foot images of teeth and images of the patient's smile and videos. So we're trying to really provide you with a real immersion into the subject matter. And I think that helps the learning experience, having it just beautifully displayed like that. And a couple of other things that I wanted to add about this new seminar. I've added a bonus presentation to this new seminar, and it's called Social Media and How to Market Your Dental Practice on the Internet in 2011. And it has nothing to do with occlusion or full mouth rehabilitation, other than the fact that this seminar is going to help really focus your internet marketing and help you bring in more cases. And all you need to do is bring in maybe one patient a month who needs, even a small amount of dentistry, even 6 to 8 units of treatment. And this seminar will pay for itself many, many times over. And it's basically going to be presented at the end of the first day. I think it would be great to have your staff members or team members with you to watch this. And I'm going to be detailing social media, Facebook, YouTube especially. I think video is a really excellent way to grow your practice. I'm going to talk about Twitter and LinkedIn. We're going to discuss blogs. And I'm going to tell you what I've found out and what I think about blogs. And also Google and just basically website design. What should we have as our website design or our layout in 2011. And it's much different than what I've had in the past few years for my dental practice website. So we're really updating all the information about internet marketing for dentistry. And I've been studying internet marketing for other businesses the last year. All 2010, I spent quite a bit of time researching and studying internet marketing and social media marketing. And I want to share with you what I found out and what I'm applying to my practice and things that you could apply to your practice. And just a lot of information that I think will be very valuable. I think, in fact, that little 1-hour presentation at the end of the first day is probably worth the tuition of the whole course. But as a bonus, you're going to get that, and you're going to get the functional occlusion and full mouth rehabilitation course. And another area that we're adding as a couple of other bonuses for registering for this seminar, if you register by February 18th, we're going to have a draw for everybody who's registered by that time to win an iPad. So one person from all the people who register will win an iPad, 64 gigabyte iPad. You know, I like iPads. I think they're very helpful for dental practice, even for patient communication. And they're just nice to have for us as dentists. For returning our emails, searching the internet, reading PDFs even on here in iBooks is an excellent thing. So I'm going to be giving away one iPad. There's also a contest on my new website where you can have an opportunity to win an iPad just by joining our mailing list. So make sure you join our mailing list and get entered into that draw. Also, joining our Facebook page will enter you into that draw. But those are two separate draws for two separate iPads. You'll also receive an opportunity to have a $100 discount by registering by February 18th for the dentist's tuition and technician's tuition. I believe it's a $50 discount for the staff members' tuition. And basically, I'm giving this discount so that we can encourage everybody to register and hopefully register online by February 18th so that I know my numbers to tell the convention space. They prefer to get the information, you know, 3-4 weeks ahead of time as opposed to the day before. So we don't want a whole bunch of people ideally registering the day before. I'd like to get most of the people to register ahead of time. And if you haven't been to one of my seminars or you weren't at the last seminar, I've updated the way that we give or provide or present our course handout. We're doing this in a binder now, and it's going to be a very detailed course handout. If you look at last year's, I had actual slides or pictures of slides and a lot of detail in the handout. I think it was about 60 pages long. And what people asked me is, can you add more pictures to the handout? And I'm going to attempt to add more pictures to this year's handout so that there's even more value delivered with the handout. And we also provide you with the forms that I use in my practice. So I have a form for smile evaluation for people who come in for those kind of consultations. I have a TMJ and facial pain questionnaire form for people that present to your practice with facial pain. And we will talk in detail about diagnosing these people in the seminar. We have a functional analysis form, which is basically a complete exam and occlusion analysis or occlusion exam. And we'll also detail in the seminar how to complete that exam and fill out that form. We've split the form that I had last year into two forms. I have a functional analysis form which you'll use in the chair, and then I have a model analysis form that you'll use when you are analyzing your mounted study models. So I'll go over both of those. I just found that splitting the form up in that manner made more efficient use of our chair time in practice, because a lot of the functional analysis visit can be completed by our dental assistants if you have an expanded duty dental assistant. And I'll go over that in detail also in the seminar, and I think having your dental assistant with you will help them understand what they need to do. And then there's a diagnostic wax-ups form or communication form to communicate your treatment plan to the ceramist. There's a lab communication form to communicate the final treatment plan, the final case design to the ceramist. And we've also included a sample of a written estimate that we provide patients with, and just a few different things that we include in the written estimate. Another thing that I'm really excited about this next seminar is I've decided I'm going to buy a visualizer, which is almost like a table-mounted video camera. And the nice thing about this is it'll zoom in on what I'm working on right on the tabletop. We're going to have a desk next to the podium with all of this set up, and I'm basically going to take a case and mount it on the articulator, and I'm going to trim the byte records and show you in detail how to trim the byte records, how to make sure that they're fitting properly, how to evaluate that, and then how to evaluate if your mounting looks correct. So we're going to go through all that process right there live in front of everyone so that you'll get a feel for how this is accomplished. And it'll be really excellent, again, for your staff members who will be doing this for you, because in my practice, I don't do that. I have Amanda, my dental assistant, do it, but I had to train her how to do it. So this will help train your team members how to do that as well. So, you know, I'm really excited about this new seminar. Our goal here at Phelan Dental Seminars is excellence in dental education. And my goal for this seminar is to make it the best learning experience that you have in 2011 and make this the biggest impact that you have in your practice in 2011 from a dental continuing education point of view. You know, I'm trying to make this a very value-added presentation and seminar and experience for you and for your team members who come. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you at the seminar, or as many of you as can make it. And there'll be registration links below this video on the website. So by all means, click on the link and you're able to register online and enter into our draw to win the 64 gigabyte iPad. So thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.